G'day guys, welcome back to SuperCoach with DR and welcome to my Round 8 review. Hope you had a ripping round yourselves. As you can probably tell from the Google screen here, this is going to be a bit of a different round review, mainly because I've only watched the solitary game of football this weekend and that was on the Friday night. So I'll get to that in a little bit, but long story short, I don't know a SuperCoach score. I don't know any news. I haven't been on any form of social media. Have not even listened to the radio today. I've saved it because I really want to do a bit of a live reaction here. Look, it's a long story, but as I said, let's go back to the Friday night. The weekend could not have started off in a better way. So I met up with the Swordplay crew, obviously Spilth and Janeth at the footy to watch Carlton Brisbane. Causa was there as well for the whole night, so shout out to your legend. Met Miller, Crocker, Phil, Davey, Clinton, a heap of other blokes as well. So I will remember you. I promise that I will do a shout out on Twitter or something, blokes. But yeah, had an awesome night. So shout out to everyone that ended up coming down, introducing themselves, get a photo, all that sort of stuff. So it was really great to meet all your legends, and obviously meeting Janeth for the first time in person. We've obviously met, done lots of the poddies and video calls and all that sort of stuff on the phone, but never actually met up in person. So that was absolutely fantastic. We knew he was going to be a good bloke, and he was nothing but a phenomenal bloke. So yeah, Brisbane had the win, all that sort of stuff. Great Friday night. Saturday morning, my oldest playing school footy, so I took him, had a really great win, ended up going back home, had a bit of time before the actual AFL game started, so he said, Dad, can we go across the road, have a bit of kick of the footy? We've got a park that's literally 50 metres away. I was already bloody soaking wet from standing out watching him all day, didn't bring an umbrella, organisation isn't my strongest point, I suppose you would say, but thought, all right, go out, have a bit of a kick. So had a bit of kick to kick, and then, got a bit competitive, who can do the longest kick and all that sort of stuff. So he got onto a really nice one, and I thought, you know what, I've got to outdo the young fella here, really got to outdo him. So went back and I thought, I'm going to get onto a really nice torp, and absolutely gave it my all, but unfortunately, absolutely slipped arse over end and cracked my head on the ground, a real good one. So the boys reckon that I was out for probably 15 seconds, and I was, as I said, just completely out of it. So I sort of came to it. I got my young fella, who's in absolute tears, devastated. Dad, you okay? And my oldest fella, who's having a bit of a laugh. So make of that what you will. I'm not too sure. Yeah, I know who's going in the will, put it that way. But good he could have a bit of a laugh. But sort of got back home, and the other boys sort of told Lisa, my wife, what had happened. So said, have a bit of a lie down, went to bed and all the rest. And basically was out of it for the rest of the day. Did not even think about SuperCoach, yada, yada, yada. By the time I woke up, all the games had sort of finished, and I was a bit sort of dazed anyway, so I had something away quickly, felt crook, went back to bed, and then on the Sunday morning, I had both boys play local footy, so went down, actually got my mum and dad to pick me up. They live not too far away, picked up the boys as well. They both played at the same oval, so watched them, but still just wasn't feeling right. So again, got home and was definitely planning on getting onto the SuperCoach and all the rest, but just didn't. End up passing out on the couch, and that was pretty much it for the day as well. So I was basically wiped 2 days. By the time I woken up, there was a little bit to go in the last game, but I thought, you know what, I'm just going to leave it. I'm not going to get on Twitter, no social media. I'm not going to check one score. What I'm going to do on the Monday is I'm going to actually open up my SuperCoach and do a bit of a live reaction and see how the team actually went, because in all honesty, apart from the Brisbane and Carlton game, I've got no idea. So I think that I had Taranto as my vice captain. No, actually, I know that I did, and Bont was my captain. So I'll get Bont's score, I'm pretty sure there. So I'm hoping that he did better than Taranto. We'll have to see. But long story short, that's why I haven't watched a game of footy. Was just completely out of it, and I still don't reckon I'm right at the moment. So all right, let's go. So let's get in this, see how the team's going. Oh, see, I've gone AFL already. Who's this here? Is that Vermeulen? D challenge. Don't tell me he's bloody got himself suspended, has he? Oh, look, what's that a video? I'm not going to go through it now. Port Forwards and Tribunal, 9 fines from LA. Buddy, yeah. Fuck, who's that? Is that Jordan Ridley? Port Adelaide for junior role, he's been sent straight to the tribunal who's off the ball hit on Ridley. Are you kidding me, man? Alright, now apologies for abruptly ending that part of the video there. I did go on what you could describe as a fair rant, but I thought I'll give myself the night just to sleep on it. Am I going to upload it or not? I thought at the end of the day, I've got a few students that watch this channel, and with some of the vocabulary language that came out of my mouth, I could have even been demonetized, I think. So we're going to start fresh. It's a new morning, so to be quite honest, this isn't going to be a live reaction now. My live reaction last night was, interesting to say the least. And remember, we're going to focus on being positive on this channel. So let's start again, fresh in the morning. So 23-27, when I first looked at that last night, I sort of jumped through the roof. I thought, here we go. Really, really nice score. But then I look there, top 13%. So obviously there was some massive ones that went around this week. I did go up almost 500 spots in the rankings, so it's good to see a green arrow, but damn, I'd like to see a bit more of a season change. But it is what it is. I didn't go backwards, so that's okay. Only 2 out of 10 league wins, so that always gives you a pretty good indication of how you've gone as compared to the other people in your league. So 2 out of 10 certainly is not fantastic. But look, let's get into it now. Let's get into it. Man, it's a bit of a tough watch, isn't it? This team. All right, 107,200, 21 trades left. Now, this is where this 18 absolutely kills me because, as I mentioned, I was at the footy on Friday night with Spills and we were talking about the team, and Jordan Ridley came up in conversation. I said, mate, tell me what is going on with this man. And he basically said to me, look, with Stuart Laverde out, he's going to play key defence. He's not going to have a SuperCoach friendly role. It's probably best if you just move him on. So my original plans were to boost last week and bring in Jack Sinclair. He didn't set the world on fire, but compared to an 18, that would have been a really solid move. So spewing on that, but it is what it is. So I'm not going to talk too much about the players because, again, I haven't watched any football yet. But Dacos 81, yeah, that's okay because we've all got him. Stewart 99, almost triple figures, but a little bit disappointing as well. Day with an 84. Yeah, we want a little bit more, but remember, for the price that we paid, I think that's okay. She's with a 110, beautiful. This 18, he's got to go. He's got to go. I really should have got him out a few weeks ago, but remember, I was really focusing on trying to upgrade the rookies around him. But at the end of the day, he was pumping out rookie-type scores, wasn't he? So, on reflection, in hindsight, I should have moved him on a little bit earlier. Got a little bit unlucky with the concussion, but he shouldn't have really been in my side, should he? McKenna was disappointing with a 46, but I'm still holding the faith. Coleman apparently had cramp. I'm not too sure. I suppose we'll take them for their word at Brisbane, but I'm keen on keeping him. It was a low game last week, but I think he's got the role, particularly with Rich out. And if Coleman's out as well, then even better, I think. Same as the Pepsi Max King. So he spent a lot of time on the wing and also spent some time down back as well. So I think that his role is a little bit more friendly without Rich in the side. So I'm keeping on to him, hopefully this week. He's got a pretty low break even, I think, as well. He's reset that. Seamus, terrific, 54. I suppose we'll take that. An average of 60. He's making money and hopefully he keeps his spot. Sorry, we'll go down a little bit here so you can see. Midfield, Bont. Now, you should have seen me go off last night. I knew that he was going to be my backup captain, but I thought that I actually had the captain on him. But obviously what I've done is I've had it on Madden just to put my league opponents off. They don't know who I'm actually going with. It should have been pretty obvious to them anyway. So silly move by me. But usually I'd be able to take the captaincy off Madden and Bond if I'm paying attention to the games. But another thing to consider, would I have even played it safe? Probably not. I probably still would have gone with Bond. But a 118 is an absolute train wreck, is it? It's not a disaster. We've seen people captain a 40-odd Took, 50 for Laird in round 1. So 118, it's okay. It's okay. Laird, well, there was questions about whether or not he was even going to get up for this game. So the fact that he got to triple figures, I suppose that's okay. Green, 135. I'm really going to look into this. 112.7 for the year. I'm really happy with that. I thought if you can go 110 plus, that would be a big win. So the fact that he's 2.7 ahead of that is fantastic for us. Jack Steele, 95. So again, I haven't really gone into a lot of these stats here, but I know that he had a fairly decent tackle count from what I've heard. So, look, that's okay. I think he's got a pretty good fixture within the next 7 weeks anyway. Goulden with a 156, a massive hit back game. We saw a 40 odd against Geelong. Then he's hit back with a nice 100 plus last week. And then this week he's gone bang with close to a ceiling game. And I say close because he's gone close to 200, hasn't he, in the preseason. But that's fantastic. Hopper 111. Great. Again, reset that break even, making more cash. And hopefully we can hold on to him for as long as possible. Ashcroft was really disappointing during this game. Just a down game from him. I'm going to forgive the young man. I don't blame you if you want to trade him out. So break even is getting high now, but I've got faith in him, and I think he's still one of the most reliable on-field rookies. So we'll get a couple of weeks at the Gabba now, which I think will be good. No travel, so I'm keen to hold Will Ashcroft. We'll just see what we can manage to do and what we can't. Constable had his loop, and Chincotta 70. This was absolutely fantastic. So he did line up for goal on the weekend, and there was Spills, Janeth, myself, and Causa. And we were just cheering for this bloke. Unfortunately, couldn't get it done. But I think he played a fantastic game. Wing and playing down back as well. Johnson, hopefully he'll come back after next week after his suspension. And then Roaston is an absolute dud of a rookie. Rowan with a 107. So I did, in my rant last night, find out that he did injure himself. But I have since heard that there may have been potential for him to even come back on. So slightly concerning, given the fact that Radigalia, who would be my emergency, plays the first game, and then Rowan plays later on in the week. It's a bit of a risk, whatever you want to do here, because my issue is that I want to have Radigalia on field as my F6. Yeah, and with question marks over Rowan, I probably need to have him as that emergency just in case. But I'm not comfortable with that because I really want to field Rat. So we'll have to see what happens there. I'll talk about what I'm going to possibly do in a minute. And then Shrek Darcy, super disappointing with a 77, but he's been in terrific form. And again, under an injury cloud. Who'd I have? So there was Dacos, Laird, Zeeble, and Darcy all coming in with an injury cloud this week. And they all managed to get up and play, which is a positive, but we didn't see some great scores, did we? Which was unfortunate. Into the forward line. So Taranto was my VC, 118. That's okay. Not the 140s that we were hoping. All good, though. This man is an absolute beast. He saved this so I could watch him live at Marvel. 149. I reckon he'll scored unders, to be quite honest. 33 touches, 13 tackles, kept Cripper quiet. What more can you ask from the man? This was such an enjoyable watch. Well done, mate. Rosie, 104. Yep, that's all good. 179. Now, I did check out the stats. How many kicks did this bloke get? Just phenomenal. So, look, a 111 for the season. He's doing much better than what I thought. Much better. Exceeded my expectations. Obviously, that big spike game has really lifted that average. Cogs is disappointing with a 79, but again, I can't complain too much. I got him in the first week for a nice 130 odd, then 100 plus the next week. So, a lower score, but that's all good. He's averaged more than 100 in my side anyway, which was nice. Roberts didn't play, and the Rat is back with an 88. He loves scoring 88s, doesn't it? Something about that. I think it's his third one for the season. And of course, Van Rooyen is injured, suspended. I've heard they're going to appeal, but either way, he's probably the bloke that needs to go for me. So if we look at some break-evens here, we've got Moddy, who's got a 37 now, so sort of reset. Not completely reset it, but nothing to worry about. Certainly not a must-trade option by any stretch. Seamus, he'll continue to make money. That's all good. 57 for McKenna. That's all good as well. I don't think he's going to lose cash. He obviously will if he pumped out what he did last week. But as I mentioned, I've got the faith in him. Ridley is definitely got to go for me this week. 71, they're projecting a 73. I think he can go 70 plus quite easily. So I'm going to hold on to Ashcroft. Chincotta, we don't move. Johnson, we don't move. I'm really tempted to move Roaston on. He's as close as it is to a dead rookie, isn't he? Because if he plays, he probably comes on as a sub, scores a 20-odd, and continues to lose money. So frustrating, because I actually bought him in for Campbell Chesser. Super frustrating. That was a really bad move there. Rookies. Roberts, I'm not moving him on. Rat, I'm keen to keep for the remainder of the season. And, yeah, we got a 59 here from Van Rooyen. So, you wouldn't believe this. You're not going to get a live reaction. You should have seen my live reaction. It's not the SuperCoach guys, just hate me. So, what I wanted to do here was... Alright, so I'm going to bring Seamus Mitchell up. I can't actually do this, right? But this is what I was planning on doing. So in my defense, I was going to look to get Weddle. And you wouldn't believe it, right? 650, 700. Now, you know what my theme's been lately if you've been following me, and that's focusing on value. But I was thinking over the weekend, you know, there's times where you've just got to pay up for quality, and you know who that quality is. Sorry, I need to do some more DPP magic there. That quality is Clayton Oliver. Look at that. 1,300 away. The SuperCoach gods just hate me with my trading. Oh, so close it seems, so close. So I need to think of some out-of-the-box options here. Now, one thing that I could do is go early on someone like a Drury and get rid of a Roaston, for example. So I will use a boost here. That's one thing that I could do. I'm just that keen on bringing in Clary this week. He's got a low break even. No, am I like against Hawthorn? Nash will take him out of the game and he'll drop an absolute stinker the week that I bring him in. So if I do, apologies if I break him. But there's a couple of other options. Now, I don't love this. But I can make it happen by doing this. I don't like it, but the big fella Maxi gone. So 512, 570. I'm almost making 60k by going Marshall down to Gorn. Now, we saw Marshall's low break even, but I'm pretty sure Gorn as well is lowish. So Gorn's on 80. Gorn's on 80. So a 50 odd break even, 80 odd break even. I think that's okay. Do I want to trade Marshall out? No, I don't. But he's a very highly owned player. I need to start doing something a little bit different, and I'm making 60k. I'm making pretty much as what I do trading out Rouston to Drury. And I don't even know if Drury's going to get up this week, if he's going to get another game, let alone get a third game. So I'm really not keen on going early because I don't want another dead rookie in my side. So although I'm not rapt to get rid of Marshall, and look, I'll be down to 18 trades with a few spots to upgrade here, I'm that keen on getting Clary this week. I need to get him. I need some extra quality in my side. I've gone your Steels, your Days lately, which are good players, and I hope that they'll average well. But I need, the cream of the crop here. I really need Clary Oliver because it's such a tough watching Melbourne games every week. I just hate watching Melbourne at the moment. But if I've got the big fella Maxi and Clary in my side, it's going to be a pretty enjoyable watch, I think. So let's do that. We'll complete those trades. And the other thing that is really, really important at the moment is looking at your buy structure. You've got to do it. So if I show the buys here, you'll see that that's actually a pretty friendly move for my side. So I'll just go out a little bit more. So if I show buys here, so playing round 12, we're missing Steele, Goulden, Dunkley, and Shrek. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not great because originally I had Marshall there. But at the same time, I did need to invest into that other buy as well. So we're 4 down there at the moment. 13 we don't really need to look at, do we? That's just going to be Tommy Stewart. 14. So this was a buy that I felt like I needed to invest in. So 1, 2, 3 primos out. And that was pretty much it. So I only had 3 out. Now I've got Gawn and Oliver in. That's more of a balance with 5. So I think that's okay. Although I wasn't a fan of trading out Marshall out of that first buy, I've still got 4 there. Now I've got 5 here. So it's a little bit more of a balance for this week as well. So it works for the buys. I get Gawn, I get Oliver. And the other thing to this as well is that I've got a strong feeling that Gawn's going to get forward DPP. If that's the case, it also opens me up to be able to purchase Tim English as well. So swing Max into the forward line and then upgrade to English if he comes down in price, which, what's he going to come down to? I'm not too sure. But if he can get to, I'll leave just under 650, then I'll seriously consider getting him in the side. If not, I can just run with Maxi there for the whole year. But well, it's just another option that I've got there. And then we look at the dreaded buy, which is the last one. And this is where we start to struggle a little bit. But I know that most teams are in the same situation. Some very popular players. You know, you got the Dogs, GWS, North as well. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a fair bit. So I cannot invest in anyone that's got the last buy. That's an absolute no-no for me. So it's not balanced in that last buy, but I think buys 1, 2, and 3 are looking pretty good at the moment. And this being the last buy, you can do a lot, can't you? You can bring players in that've already had their buys the 3 weeks prior. So I don't mind this. I don't mind my buy structure at the moment. So yeah, look, what am I going to do for future trade plans? Well, Brayshaw's come right down in price. Now, when's Mills's buy? Is that 14? No, that's the first one, is it? So maybe next week, I may look at a cheap Callum Mills, if I can. So we might look to, geez, you might have to use someone like an Ashcroft, someone like a McKenna. I don't know if I'll be able to get up to him. I probably will, actually. I probably will. So next week, I think the most likely scenario would be to possibly use some DPP and bring in someone like a Mills and a Drury. Now, why Mills? It's mainly due to the buy. Also like Merritt as well. I really wanted to get him before round 10. So probably Mills or Merritt is who I'm going to look at next week. So am I happy using the boost and get Marshall out? Not really. But it does get me a couple of Melbourne players who I need. And I do have 56k in the bank as well, which is going to be pretty handy. So look, guys, I am going to leave it there for now. Apologies for for not giving you a live reaction to this, but I guarantee you my channel would have been demonetized if I had have actually gone with that. I have not gone off like that. You reckon my other SuperCoach video where I had a rant, I was going right off? I'll tell you what, nothing compared to last night. So I'm going to leave you there for now, guys. I will get with Janeth and Spills for the Swordplay potty this week. I'll also get the stock market out, but I'll tell you what, I have a lot of football to watch in the next 24 to 48 hours before I get that video out. If I can't get to every match, I may even go to the community to help me out with a few players or a few teams. We'll see how we go, but I'll promise that I will do my best. So that's it for now, guys. Hope that you have an awesome week, and I'll see you soon for the potty and the stocky. Cheers, guys. Bye.